Hello, this is Eric Lingerfeld, lead developer and software architect for the Bellerophon software system. One of the unique things about our system is not only do we address visualization and analysis needs for core collapse supernova simulations, but we also address software engineering tasks such as regression tests. And so basically, we have a system where a regression test is performed automatically on DOE HPC platforms on a daily basis, and those results are transmitted back to the web server and available through the Regression Test Explorer. Now we're looking at the Explorer, and basically this is SVN revision 743, regression test 1915, and the code line, the machine, the date, and we see here that it's color-coded as an execution failure. I'd like to point out that you can filter these results by index, by SVN revision, by code type, by the start date they were performed on, the platform, and the result that was achieved. Let's look at this execution failure. So I double-click on it, and now we're looking at the regression test viewer. Over here in the upper left-hand corner, you can see a directory that's full of files. Those files do not actually preside here on the local machine, but actually we're looking at a directory that's sitting on the remote web server. But we are able to manipulate and view these files as if they were stored locally. So let's look at some of these files. We have a file that has regression test metadata in there, including the compilation date, the date it was checked out, the execution date, and the end date of the test, and some other metadata that's concerned about the Chimera core collapse supernova movie simulation. We can look at the make file that was used. We can choose or not to wrap lines. We can look at the standard output error file that was delivered from the regression test. And as we can see, if we get down here to the bottom, we've had an error, and there's a whole hex stack trace that is there. Well, if this occurs during a regression test, then the stack trace is automatically converted into another file, which we can see here, that has different links, and then these links actually point you back toward the problem. And so one of the really nice things we like to be able to do is integrate with third-party tools, and the Chimera team uses the Track SCM system to manage some of their codes. So if I click on this link for this particular revision, this particular file at line 280, it automatically loads up the Chimera track at the revision line and file, so it can take you directly there. So you can go ahead and start investigating the error. Also, whenever one of these errors take place, the Bellerophon web server sends out a blame email with this stack trace, with the hyperlinks to all the individuals that were involved since the last successful regression test. We can peruse a lot of the data files that are sitting in here. Here's some of the data files that were left out. We have a dump file here from the run log. And there we go. And we can go through and look at these files. So we're actually manipulating, loading files from the server locally. And here are just some other files that are associated with it, and some initial data files. So if we want to look at, well, what initial input data did we actually use in this simulation? Some of the other things you can notice that we can do, we can download the entire directory from the server. So if I click on this button, the directory that has all of these files in it with the metadata is zipped up and delivered to your desktop. Also, if I want to just look at the track change set that goes with this revision, I can click here and it'll open up the Chimera change set for revision 743. So not only do we offer visualization, we also have a regression test system that operates on HPC platforms, and we've made it very, very accessible.